there is only mind and there is no physical external reality. So for this I'm going to give three or four main reasons which prove by themselves that there is only mind. So why there is only mind? Solipsism is true, but not the classical solipsism, that in the sense that I only exist, only I exist, and everything else that I experience is part of my imagination. There are only the people that I meet and the nature and the objects of the world. There are only figments of my imagination. That's the usual classical understanding of solipsism. What I'm saying is that that is not correct. Even though solipsism is correct, that is not the correct understanding or definition of solipsism. The challenge is to explain exactly what solipsism means. And this is the tricky one, because we need to turn to science and philosophy. But I will do my best. What I understand by solipsism is not that only I exist and you and everybody else are only parts of my imagination. I'm not saying that you don't have independent existence. You do have independent existence as much as I do. The key here is to understand that every single frame of reference dwells in its own individual parallel universe. Or in other words, its individual frame of reference dwells in its own now slice of the block universe. If we consider the universe to be a block where everything that has happened already exists in the past, and everything that will ever happen already exists in the future, this is the universe that Albert Einstein discovered and proved the existence of. We must accept, because this theory has been proven over and over and over again, and we know it's correct, we must accept that the universe we inhabit is a block universe. Now, that means that it can be subdivided into ever thinner slices until you get to the minimum slice possible, which is the thinnest possible slice, and that would be the now slice. The now slice is equivalent to a single still frame where there is no motion, there is only one picture, and as the pictures are played in order at fast speed, you get the illusion of motion and the illusion of life. This is very close to Einstein's discovery of block universe. A movie is a very close and good metaphor for the universe where we live. Well, I'm not saying that this is a movie, but I'm saying that according to Einstein, this is proven to be the truth, that the block universe can be subdivided into ever thinner frames until you get to the thinnest of all the possible frames, which would be a universe of infinite size, because it would be the now slice of infinity, but it would be an infinity that is frozen in time. It's still, nothing moves, but it's infinite in size, because it's the now of what is happening everywhere. So for instance, at this moment, at this very nanosecond of time in which I am speaking, there is certainly a pigeon in Beijing, in Tiananmen Square, making poo somewhere. It is this same now where some aliens in the Andromeda galaxy are having breakfast. It is the same now where a meteorite has just crashed against a moon in a faraway distant planet and distant galaxy, and so on. So you get the idea of what I mean by a now slice of the universe. It is a frozen, infinitely sized universe with the minimum possible amount of time, because we know that all the experience is brought to us individually by light carrying information. At least this is what science is telling us, because science believes in the existence of an external world. Let's imagine that science is right, that there is an external world and the information is brought to our eyes by light, by photons of light, but they turn out to be also waves and photons of light, bringing the information all the way from all over the neighborhood onto the retinas in our eyes, but the light cannot cross through the retina into the eye and into the brain. The light cannot do this. The light bounces away at the retina like little cannonballs bouncing off from the top of the retina. So light has never entered our heads. Our brains have always been in darkness. There has never been light in the heads. Light has never penetrated your head. That means that the experience of light and objects that we have and that we enjoy is created only by our mind, because we have never seen the world outside directly. The senses are a wall that protects or interferes between the possible existence of an outer world and the inner existence of the mind. That light bounces off our retinas, bringing us the information. So this means that everything that we experience, including our own body, our neighbors, the houses, the planets, the mountains, everything that we experience, light takes an amount of time to bounce off these objects and then reach our retina in our eyes. So even though it's a small fraction of time, it is a fraction of time. So even when we are looking at our own bodies are in the past. Relative to what? Relative to the mind that is creating and conjuring up our experience out of information that is purportedly to be outside. We know that everything that we see is in the past, and the further away, the more in the past. A distant galaxy can be millions or billions of light years into the past, and the stars from distant galaxies may not even exist any longer, but we still receive the light from the past. The key to understand is that everything that we see originates from the past, including even our own bodies. That means that there is a lapse of time, however small, even if it's just a nanosecond,